What's good, everybody, and welcome into episode number 2 of the Shove Dunk Sports Podcast. We got my boy Jake Mueller in the building with me today, man, and we are going to be talking some sports with y'all. Like, Jake, big Tom Brady guy. If you guys watched the game yesterday, y'all know what happened. I was not happy, but, it's neither here nor there. We're also going to be talking about Le'Veon Bell and the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll also be bringing up what I saw last night and what shocked me about the Braves-Dodgers matchup and why LeBron James might be better than Michael Jordan. All coming up on the show. But first, Jake, I'm going to start with you here. Let me know your thoughts on what happened yesterday in Tampa Bay from around 3:25 East Central Time to about 6:30 our time.
You talking about the massacre? You talking about the massacre that happened down there? 38 unanswered points. Are you talking about that game? Oh my God, that game was nuts. Well, in the beginning it was all Packers, right? Then out of nowhere, got a little running game going. Tampa Bay started getting going, throwing the ball. Gronk gets his first TD. It was a pretty good game. I'm liking it. Am I satisfied yet with the Tampa Bay? Probably not. It could, some things here and there can get little tweaks, but it's getting in the right direction. That's for sure.
Okay. That was not as bad as I thought. I thought you were gonna go to town about your guy Tom Brady. I'm gonna be honest, Jake. I thought this game went very differently to me. I thought it was going to be a very Rodgers Brady game, back and forth, good quarterback play. And I don't think Rodgers had a terrible game, but I didn't think Brady played overly well either. And that both of those kind of jumped out to me. So I'll start with my guy, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, without question, lost the sad game yesterday, without question. Here's what you guys and the people at home need to understand. People watching this or listening or whatever, you guys need to understand. Aaron Rodgers does not throw interceptions. He's got the best touchdown interception ratio ever, and it's a pretty big margin, I believe. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a pretty big margin. So we come out, as you alluded to, Jake, 10-0 in the first quarter. Defense gets, 2 stops, and I'm feeling pretty good.
He was wide open. Rodgers ran for one. He had his little celebration and all. You guys were feeling it.
Yeah, we were. And I'm gonna say this. Rodgers didn't play well. He forced 2 passes. Give Tampa's defense credit. They really dominated the game on both sides of the ball. I think Tampa's front 7 really showed up and showed out. I mean, even without Vita Vea, who has been a man amongst boys before he went down last weekend in Chicago. But I think it was an all-around good performance by Tampa. You got to tip your hat to Todd Bowles. I mean, I'm going to be honest, as much as it was against my Packers, I love seeing Gronk, get back to where he used to be. The league is always better when Gronk is having fun and doing his Gronk spikes. So I thought it was an interesting game. Do I think that this could definitely be a playoff or NFC championship matchup? Without question. Now, I think both teams have a lot of work to do to get there. I still think that the Green Bay is a little bit too finesse. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, especially on the defensive side of the football. We can't turn the ball over. Tampa Bay's got to clean up some things. They got to get Brady going, get him comfortable. He looked a little bit uncomfortable at times yesterday. Was going to Gronk, who's obviously his security blanket for like about 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that really, I knew as soon as Rodgers threw that pick 6 ago, Packers are in trouble because Rodgers doesn't do that. And I think that, the thing for me is you go down 14-10. You're still in the ball game and you have the football. and I felt like all the wind just got taken out of Green Bay, and they didn't play with any aggression or any heart or any effort, nothing the rest of that game. And Tampa's too good of a team where you can't play without effort.
No, for real, because Tampa, I think the key for Tampa in order to be good is, like you said, their offensive line has to show up every single day to give Tom that space. And like I even saw it on like social media, like he was even saying like that was like a perfect game by them. They didn't allow any sacks. No sacks. He didn't throw the ball awfully like much, so it was a lot of ground and pound, and they're going at it. But the whole key for them is to just keep the open lanes for their running, as well as keeping it nice and clear for Tom. Because once you get Tom going, and then you, like you said, get Gronk, get a couple Gronk spikes going, and it's game over. I think Gronk might be a little hurt though, so we'll see how that goes. He said something about his right shoulder. I know he's injury prone, so we'll see how that goes. But like you said, I think this would probably be maybe an NFC, championship, playoff game here, or however the seeding goes, But I don't know. I like the Seahawks though, so we'll see if it's going to be one of these three teams is going to make the Super Bowl. I think Tampa Bay, Packers, or Seahawks. But I'd put Seahawks above these two for sure right now, though, because Russell's playing some good ball. I'm sorry, but like you said, Tampa's defense though, that's a scary defense. They got 2 interceptions. They made Aaron Rodgers throw 2 interceptions. Like you said, that doesn't happen. Like one doesn't even happen. I think that was his 3rd all-time pick 6, and like it's been like a couple years since that's happened. I think it was, I forget when it was, but it's been a long time. So, but like you said, it was a good game for Tampa Bay, and I think if you play this game 10 times, I feel like it's going to be split 50-50. They're both really good teams. Aaron didn't have his best game. He doesn't have, we all have those games, right? So I think it's just like that. And they don't have that much like star power, big names. So, everyone needs to contribute. And when that doesn't happen, things like this happen. But I'm not worried. Like I'm a Bears fan, but I know that the Packers will probably, win the NFC North and they'll get a nice seed going. So nothing to be scared about if you're a Packer fan at all. But it's a good look for Tampa Bay though, because how they started the season, against the Saints, they looked, out of sorts, but they're building chemistry. They're starting to get all the pieces that they've been getting in throughout the weeks. So they're all meshing well, gelling. And, I don't think they won the Super Bowl this year, but maybe next year, got to get going. We'll see.
Yeah, I really agree with a lot of what you said. I think Tampa Bay's defense reminds me of when Peyton Manning was in Denver and they had, Von, DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib, Chris Harris, like those boys. I feel like this defense reminds me a lot of that. And obviously I'm a big football fan. I'm not concerned about my Packers. I think we always struggle off the bye. I don't know if you know this, but Green Bay is 1-5 in the last 6 games coming off a bye.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I mean, we've struggled off the bye in the past. I think a lot of people are just bailing on the Packers. I'm like, listen, Tampa's a good team. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Tampa right now, for me, it's them and Green Bay and Seattle. Like you said, at the top of the NFC, I mean, you could rank them however you want. I would honestly put Tampa 1 right now just because of their defense and how they're playing complementary football. I don't think Seattle's playing good enough complementary football. Their defense is like a last or 31st in almost every defensive statistical category. And Tampa's got the best defense in the league. And then when you complement that with an offense that's humming with Brady, Ronald Jones, Gronk, Godwin, Evans. I mean, and the thing that really stood out to me, though, Jake, about this game was how the different players on each team are such big impacts. Like, you talk about Scotty Miller for Tampa. You've never heard of that guy. Robert Tonyan for Green Bay, coming off arguably the best game of his career. He's an impact player for us. I mean, you talk about these guys that both of these teams have. They're under the radar guys, and it really shows that I think the NFL is taking in a different direction of drafting and developing. I mean, I watched 2 of two of the best linebackers I think we have in this game yesterday, and Devin White and Levante David. I mean, these guys flew around. I mean, the way they were making tackles, the Packers got a great offensive line, but, Devin White and Levante were flying around. I saw them making tackles, making plays. They were even doing well in coverage against Jones and Williams, which is pretty impressive because it's hard to cover those guys.
Right, like they're the new style of linebackers where you got to accommodate for the running backs and even tight ends now. Tight ends are, starting to run 4-4s. Like, that's never happened before. Even some 4-3s. I forget the guy on the Raiders. He's emerging
Darren
star.
Waller.
Yeah, he's an emerging star. And so we got a good group of linebackers, and when you're playing teams that like a Seattle or even like a Packers, it's you got to have that. But also, I'm sure as the season goes on, Packers defense will lock up and get going like they normally do for the postseason. But I was looking at the power rankings for ESPN. They have Seattle above Tampa and Green Bay. So we'll see how that goes. They don't even have Tampa in the top, what is that, 7? They don't even have in the top 7. So they don't. Yeah, Kansas City obviously is number 1. Like, that's nuts. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm not too worried for either one of them. It was a good showing and a bad showing, but at the end of the day, it's going to even out, and we'll see how it goes. We'll be seeing them. One of these teams we'll seeing them in January or February, whatever it is. So it'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, and I think the big key too is that both of these teams, the Packers were coming in really hot, and the Bucks kind of needed this win more. And it kind of felt like a Philadelphia game last year for us. We played them on a Thursday night. We were 3-0 coming in. Philly was 1-2. Philly played really, really good game. It was obviously closer than it was yesterday afternoon, but it made me look back to that game and be like, I think the Bucs were just a little bit more desperate than Green Bay was to win this game. And I mean, obviously it's a fair point. I mean, if Tampa loses, they fall to 3-3. If Green Bay loses, they're 4-1. They're still 3rd or 4th in the NFC, whatever it is. So,
Let's see.
All right. Well, now that we got that out the way, because I was dreading that all day, thinking about that.
I don't want to lay it on too bad. I can't lay it on too bad because I got to understand that it was an off game for Aaron, but Tom Brady's still the GOAT. He still got the 6 rings. He still got all of his stats. He's still slinging the ball at 43 years old. It's gonna happen. He's gonna get his 7th one. Gronk's gonna retire. Tom's gonna retire. They're gonna be the best duo of all time. So I can't lay it on too much right now. I'll lay it on once they win the Super Bowl. All right, simple as that.
Okay. I respect that. Now let's shift to the other thing that was very surprising from yesterday, the Braves-Dodgers Game 7 of the NLCS. I really enjoyed watching that game, watched it from start to finish. Dodgers ended up winning 4-3, making it into the World Series where they will play Tampa Bay. And I believe that series starts on Tuesday on Fox. Jake, what were your thoughts on the game? What did you think? And who do you have in the World Series, Braves or Dodgers?
I think the Dodgers are going to win it just because they have so much star power and so much explosive bats, So that's going to be key because hitting, it's all about that. That's why the Cubs aren't in it because they couldn't hit the ball. So it's crucial. I think I had Dodgers winning. I didn't have them going down 3-1 in that series. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be like a them in 6, something like that. But they gritted it out. They came back and did the 3-1 magic on them. But like you said, it was a good game. Defense was it was relevant. They made big plays, both sides, both Braves and Dodgers did. So it was good seeing that. A couple, I forget, was the double play at home or he dove out, got him, Turner, he did that, so it was a good game defensively. But I think the big hit at the end to seal the deal from Bellinger, you see his walk, he went halfway down strutting his stuff and knew it. And then at the end of it, popped out his shoulder from the high five, and he should be all good though. I don't think it was too serious. I think they just popped it back in. He might be a little sore, but that was big time play by him. So it was a nail crunching game. I like that. Especially in the postseason when baseball's like that. So I enjoyed the game. But I did have the Dodgers winning, and I'm glad they did. I wish it was the Cubs though. So can't have it all.
Right. Yeah. I have the Dodgers winning as well, and I actually have the Dodgers winning in 7. I think this is going to be a really good series. I think the big key for the Dodgers is just their defense is so unbelievable. I mean, you some of those catches that Mookie Betts was making were just jaw dropping, eye opening, just amazing plays. I was so impressed with Mookie, not only because he's great at the plate. He was just great on defense. I mean, he was having the best years at the plate, but on defense, he's making a huge difference and really helped that team get over the hump and get to the World Series. That game, that series, the Braves and Dodgers was awesome. You know, Atlanta, they played so well. I mean, they have a bright young future. I mean, with
Oh, they
Ronald
do.
Acuna, one of the best young players I've seen in the sport of baseball in a really long time. He reminds me a lot of Trout, Bellinger, Yelich. He's a guy like that where I think once he really develops, he's going to be a real top caliber player. I mean, you have Ozzy Albies. His name is so hard to say.
All
Max
good.
Fried. I mean, their team is just full of talent, and Brian Snedeker did a really nice job too. The Braves manager or skipper, as they say in baseball. But no, it was a good series. Really lived up to it. I thought the Dodgers were going to win in probably 6 games. I'm glad we got the game 7 because those are the two greatest words in sports. I mean, let's keep it real. But yeah, I think the Dodgers and the Rays series is going to be really good. I mean, I don't know if you know this, Jake, but the Rays are 27th in payroll, I believe, and the Dodgers are probably top 3. I'm guessing up
Okay.
right up there with Red Sox, Yankees, and probably Cubs are third or fourth, and
Yeah.
then Dodgers are in there. So it's really going to be interesting to see. Because if the Rays win, that really shows that you make the most of what you got.
Right.
And it can go a long way if you get the right people in the right places.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook. It was Kershaw's salary, and I forget which other player. It was two
Mookie.
players on the Dodgers. Yeah, Mogi, and it equaled. It was just like I think it was $2 million short of what the whole entire Tampa Bay salary was, and that shows something. I think it was a meme, and it was like the Moneyball guy or whatever. But yeah, no, you're right. Though it's going to speak volumes. You got your young talent. It was kind of like back in 2016. I know I keep saying the Cubs, but that's what I'm going to reference to. It was like that, the young talent. And say they don't win it this year, it could be next year. It could be Braves and Tampa Bay. You never know. Like they're both young, and they're this young. They'll just keep getting better. God forbid any injuries though. But no, I'm liking it. I'm excited. And yeah, you're right. The game is Tuesday on Fox at 7 o'clock. So that should be a fun series.
You know what, Jake? That's grade A journalism right there, my friend. Checking my facts for me. I love it. Thanks, buddy. Um, but no, yeah, like you were saying, I mean, it's amazing how far baseball has uh has gone along. Because I mean, if you
Hmm.
watch, I don't know, obviously the people listening to this, if you ever watch the movie Moneyball, Billy Bean took something out of nothing. They didn't make the World Series. They got close, but sometimes that is an inspirational changer for a lot of these teams because they can look back on that and be like, look at what Billy Bean did with the A's. We can do that here if we get the right people around us. And I think that really speaks volumes. One of the people on Tampa Bay that really stands out to me is Blake Snell. He's one of the great pitchers we have in the game. He's obviously not like I don't think he's top tier pitchers like a Garrett Cole, a Max Scherzer, a Yu Darvish. Like I don't think he's that tier, but I would throw him in the tier two, and I think really he's upped his game as the playoffs have gone along as well. I mean, he pitched big time in Game 7 against the Houston Asterix.
I like that one. I like that one. But no, you're right. What do you think is going to be the big like takeaway that's going to like separate who's going to win? Like, what do you think it's be pitching? You think it's be hitting? Like, what do you think it is in this upcoming series? What do you think is going to win it for the team?
I think the Dodgers and I think their fielding is really going to separate. I think with Bats playing at such a high level right now. I mean, he's making plays that you don't see a lot of guys make. I mean, you got Bellinger. I mean, you got Seager. You got Turner. All these guys are such great fielders. That's a part of it. I think another part too is going to be the experience of the Dodgers. Mookie been there before. Clayton Kershaw, he's pitched in the World Series. Kenley Jansen, a lot of these guys have been there and been through big playoff runs, and experience usually goes a long way. Kind of connects to the Heat and Lakers series from the NBA Finals. The Lakers had a little bit more experience, and I think that'll be the difference in this series as well.
Yeah, I think you're right on the experience because I'm pretty sure the Dodgers have been there 3 of the last 4 years. If it's something like that, I remember. So I think that definitely is going to keep their nerves down. So like right out of the gate, like game 1, they're going to be able to play some ball and get quick start on them. Obviously, in the postseason, everybody knows pitching is going to be the number one thing, and your defense, and you're just going to have to you all you have to do is get one run, right, and then you got to play some defense after that. But I think you're spot on about the experience part of that. No, you're right.
All right, so let's shift to this now. LeBron James, obviously, what big of a fan I am of him. What did this fourth title do for you, legacy wise, for him? Did it move him closer to Jordan? Is it 1-2 with him and Jordan now? Is he better? Is he not? What does he need to do? And really, how impressed were you that he's still keeping this going, even in year 17 at 35 years old?
So I'm gonna answer your first question there, which was like, what does this do for his like legacy? Obviously, adding a chip to your legacy is only gonna make it better. I understand that. Um, and like this one, obviously, was a little bit different. It's the world's like most chaotic, different championship ever done, right? Like definitely hats off to NBA. They did a phenomenal job. 0 cases of COVID down there. They locked it up. A couple early, glimpses here and there that could have gone the wrong way, but hey, we're all good there. But like I said, definitely, added to his resume. If anything, it moved him closer to Jordan, which I'm a Jordan fan. I think he's the GOAT, like by far. Not just because of basketball, but what he did outside of it, like marketing the NBA, marketing his own brand, marketing just basketball in general. I think I personally think it goes Jordan LeBron. Like I understand LeBron is like a phenomenal athlete, he's a phenomenal basketball player. He does a lot outside of the NBA. He definitely he's definitely influenced a lot of people. I understand that, but there's just differences in game and stuff, and then there's differences court actions. Where I'm just more of a Jordan fan. Like I'm not a big fan of like LeBron. He's always complaining. Like even during the finals, everybody was making fun of it. Like he's in midair, got fouled, looked at the ref, complaining about it, and then he still made it. But at the same time, like there's just like little things like that that separate Michael and LeBron. For me personally, but this was definitely cool. I hope that next year there can be a crowd for the NBA games and stuff because I personally want to go to them again. But for me, it still goes Jordan 1 and then LeBron 2.
Yeah, I like a lot of what you said. Obviously, I think LeBron's the GOAT, and I mentioned this on many occasions to a lot of different people. I just think that when you take into account his whole resume and what he is as a basketball player, how he leads his team, how he can go to one team and make them a title contender. He leaves the team and they fall apart and are a lottery pick. It's unbelievable what he's done in his career. I think for me, I think LeBron getting his fourth title really cements himself as, a top five player of all time in a lot of people's eyes. And for me, it cements it as a top two player. I mean, I'll tell you this, the only person that you could argue that's probably better than LeBron is Jordan. I mean, he's the only guy with really a legitimate argument. I mean, some have tried to make an argument for Kareem. I listen to it, but I don't see you taking Jordan or LeBron outside of that 1-2 spot.
Hmm.
I really believe though that this NBA season, what they did with the NBA bubble is just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you talk about you know the Lakers and the Heat. They sacrificed 3 months to go down to a bubble, to not be able to see their whole entire families. You know, the coaches weren't allowed to be with their loved ones.
Hmm.
That's a big thing in the NBA was making that sacrifice. And I'm glad they got the season completed. I really am. Regardless of who would have won it. I'm very happy my Lakers won it, and my guy LeBron won it. But just to see everybody down there, and I mean, we got treated to some unbelievable performances by Murray, Mitchell, Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, scoring 32 in the second half. I mean, we got
Or
treated
how
to
about
some
Paul?
legendary performances. I mean, AD's buzzer beater, LeBron and Jimmy Butler in Game 5 of the Finals was one of the best games that I had ever witnessed. Two guys at the peak, just have all the momentum. Everything's working for them, and they can't be stopped. And the best part about it was is that you would see Jimmy make a tough shot. LeBron would slam the ball. LeBron would hit a three in Jimmy's face, and Jimmy would be all pissed off. It's like, that's what basketball is about, being competitive. And I do agree with your point about, LeBron complaining to the refs. I mean, but that's the thing, is that's kind of the nature of the NBA now. It's kind of a little bit softer now than it was back in, the Jordan, the Shaq, the Kobe days. It's a little bit softer now, but the talent is just through the roof. I mean, and you talk about, we didn't have Curry, we didn't have Clay, we didn't have KD.
Yeah.
We didn't have all these guys, Kyrie. We didn't have all these guys, and it's still amazing to watch and fun to watch, and I can't wait for next year, because I think the next couple of years is going to be insane with where the NBA is headed. I mean, a lot of teams are doing a lot of really good things and have a lot of good pieces in place. I personally think that it'll be if the Bucks make the move, I think it'll be Bucks Lakers. But my sleeper pick next year's Heat Lakers rematch. I
Oh,
think the Heat are they're a good team. I think they're only going to continue to develop. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn. They still got Bam and Jimmy. Bam's young. He's only going to continue to get better. And you got Pat Riley leading the organization, one of the best there is out there. I was a huge Heat fan for a good 4 years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, like you're saying, like emerging stars, like you just said, Tyler Hero, like he was having a good regular season before the COVID happened. Like he was having a good regular season. He wasn't like in like rookie of the year kind of thing, but like a second tier. And he emerged. Devin Booker. I don't know if you said Devin Booker. The Suns went 8-0 up in there. Like no one expected that. But do I think the Suns would be like a contender? No, I don't. I feel like he should leave. I request a trade. I don't know. Maybe go somewhere else. Maybe, but everywhere in the West, like besides in a couple teams, they're contenders no matter what. Like, God forbid, Paul George stays on the Clippers. I don't want him there no more because I want him gone. I want that man gone. He's awful. But I think he was just having a bad series, to be honest, or bad playoff run. He's we'll see how that goes. But no, I think you're right. I think I think the Lakers will probably be back in the chip next year, probably. But like you did say, Steph and Clay are coming back. Draymond's going to be healthy again. So the Warriors are back. And they do have a lottery pick, which they'll probably trade away. Probably. They might get somebody. You never know. They did have five all-stars on one team. So they'll do something crazy there. Who knows? But I have a question for you, though. I did see it on ESPN, and I saw it around social media. People are saying Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Heat. Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think he will be leaving the Bucks, the place that took a chance on him, 6-7 years ago, called home? He's got his family there. He's got his, I don't know if it's a daughter or son. He's got family there. I mean, what are you doing? Do you think the Bucks could even win with him?
All right. Well, first off, I want to apologize to the Suns fans because I don't want to get ripped on Twitter by the Suns Twitter. Shout out to the Bubble Suns going 8-0.
Oh, going off, bro.
Oh yeah. Devin Booker, all those boys, major props. They beat the Clippers too. D Book had a shot over Kawhi. One of my favorites. Awesome. Not your question. Does Giannis leave the Bucks?
Not even just the Heat, but just in general. Do you think he would actually leave?
I think it's a possibility. I really do. I think there's really three teams three of them that are going to go after him. I think first, Miami. Obviously, you alluded to that. I mean, they got the pieces, they got the talent, the picks to be able to do it. I think that they could obviously make a play at him or make a run at him for sure. Dallas, I think, is another team. You talk about Luka, running things at the point, Porzingis down low, and then you talk about Giannis sliding into that small forward slot. That'd be a really interesting. Team. And obviously, I think you alluded to the team that has the lottery pick this year, the Golden State Warriors. My man Gavin Goldstein. Shout out to my boy, big time Warriors fan out there. He would love to see that because he's already been on me that if the Warriors get Giannis, it's over. It's like Kevin Durant. And I said that's all right, Goldstein, because LeBron's got a better teammate now in AD over.
LeBron would not be able to beat Giannis, Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and whoever they decide to throw in at the 5.
Anything's possible. Go James, Jake. All right, let's be real. But back to your question: would Giannis ever leave? I could see it. I really could. I think a few things would have to happen though. I think next year, if you look at it, if the Bucks don't at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals, I think he's gone for sure. Now, I think that if let's say they play the Heat or the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals and lose in a really good 7-game series, I could see him possibly coming back. If they don't make the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals and they get bumped in the semifinals and they have a full collection of people, or they add someone, and they still lose, I think he probably leaves. It's really hard to say because, it's not like Kevin Durant where he obviously wasn't happy with Russ. And, it's obviously not like a LeBron and Dan Gilbert situation back in 2011 or 2010, excuse me, when Gilbert wrote that letter about him. But no, I think it's a possibility. I think the three teams are definitely Miami, Dallas, and Golden State. Do I think he probably stays? Yeah, I think he does because I don't see Milwaukee not making it to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals this year. And I think they're going to make a move and pick someone up. So I think it's going to be them and Miami and the Nets probably at the top of the East next year. And, Boston and Toronto obviously are sitting there. Sleeper teams. Let's not forget about Toronto and definitely Boston. I would even throw Philadelphia in there outside shot
Depends.
now that they actually got a pretty good coach in Doc Rivers. But yeah, I could see it happening. What say you, bud?
Like you said, like those are three like really like probably the most like ideal teams. The whole thing with Giannis is you got to have shooters. Miami's got some shooters, as we've noticed. They got some shooters. They got Robinson. They got Hero, Dragic. They got some others too. Kelly Olynyk. I know he's not like big threat, but he's a big that can shoot. So they got shooters. We obviously know Golden State has shooters. Do I think he's gonna go to Golden State? Probably not. I just don't think the move. I don't think they have the pieces. I don't think they have the pieces in order to get him. Like they would need to they would have to trade a lot in order to get to him, unless he was a free agent. Like is Giannis' contract? It's not over this year. It's the next year, right?
In 2021, so not this year, next year. He's an
Right.
unrestricted free agent.
Right. So maybe if he's a free agent, if he's willing to take a pay cut, maybe he's there. But if he did go to Dallas, that would be that's a team. That is a damn team right there. That is the nuts. You got Luca, who's already an MVP candidate. Who's like he's like the Patrick Mahomes. Like he's the next thing. Like after LeBron, I think it's Luca. I know people like Giannis. I think it's Luca. Porzingis, yeah, he's injured left and right, so I can't. He's kind of a question mark there. But hopefully he gets healthy and hopefully he can play. The seasons because he is a really good. He's a really good player. He's a really good asset for Dallas. But I don't know if he would leave the Bucks. I think he's too invested in them. I think he's too invested in the community around it. Like you see it on TV, you see it on social media, you see it all over. Like he's invested in it, and I think the big thing is like the Bucks kind of changed that man's life. He changed the family's life, like overnight. So I personally think the Bucks need to like start stepping it up, get this man some help. Um, Maybe a Chris Paul, someone that can distribute the ball a little better. Maybe get some shooters in there. Maybe trade for a Bradley Beal? Question mark. I don't know about that. Get him out of the Washington situation. But that's the whole big thing. He's probably, as we're speaking right now, he's probably working on his 3-pointer to get going. I think he's trying to go for a 3-peat and MVPs, but I think he's looking more for that for the Larry O'Brien trophy. I think he's trying to get it all, and he needs it. So if he wants to be one of the greatest of all time, you need to start winning. But he's young. He's gonna get his tries at it. So I don't think he's leaving. I think he'll stay. I think he's gonna ride it out, but he needs help for sure on that one.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. CP3, Bradley Bill, I think would be really good fits. Now, I wanted to ask you about this though. I know you're a Derrick Rose guy. I know you are.
Oh,
And I just want to know because I heard my boy Rob Palinka has been on the phone trying to
yeah.
work out a deal to maybe try and get Derrick Rose or Chris Paul. I wanted to get your thoughts on that and see what you thought about either one of those two and how it would be a good or bad fit for the Lake show.
Dude, oh my God. I love Derrick Rose. I keep it like I'm not like I don't really advertise it like that, but like I actually, I felt for it. Like literally I'm a Bulls fan like my whole life, this whole family is. And so the day that, the first ACL got torn, like that just like ripped all of us apart. And so, and he fought through it like time and time again. He kept having his injuries and stuff. And, you see the emotion. He loves the game, and the city of Chicago loves him. Every time he's back at the United Center, it's always a big applause and stuff. And he was actually having a good season. Until shutdown happened. But if Derrick Rose were to go to the Lakers and win a chip there, I would be fine with that. I wouldn't care if LeBron, as long as Derrick Rose got one, because that man definitely deserves one. He's working his butt off. He's working everything. He's making sure his body's right. And I would love it if he would go there. I mean, honestly, I don't know if he would be. I don't know. Like who would start, if it would be him or Rondo, or if, whoever they get. But Rondo's having a real playoff Rondo. That's something to deal with right there. But it's either him or Chris Paul. They're two different styles. Chris Paul is more of the passing point guard, where Derrick Rose is, he's a little bit more of scoring. But out of those two, I'd probably want D Rose more than Chris Paul. Yeah, he's more injury prone, but I think you get a little bit more out of him, more of explosiveness and more of like I think you can do more dual. So I think he plays a little bit more defense and a little bit more offense, and you can do a little bit more with him. Where Chris Paul is a great player, like don't get me wrong, definitely one of the top point guards of all time. Definitely Magic, Stockton, and then you fill them wherever. But I would take D Rose. But if that were to happen, hey, I'd be happy for that man, and I'd be all right if LeBron were to get a fifth. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what's gonna happen though if he gets a fifth.
Well, Jordan's got 6. He's 6-0. If we really want to get going here, the man's got a whole entire Hall of Fame career ahead of LeBron already. If you were to do it, it's. Don't worry, I'm fine with
You
LeBron.
take a look at the stats, Jake. You take a look at him. You see
If you
what
look
all James is doing.
have you seen him any more seasons? He's played more seasons, played more minutes, dude.
It don't matter. That means we more durable. We don't go out drinking and gambling like MJ does. We keep it clean. Go James, keep it clean.
Hey man, but hey, check the stats again because LeBron is like a whole entire NBA career and all like the accolades behind Michael. All right, like if you want a player that can do everything, that's influential, that can pass, that can dribble, that can shoot, that can play defense, you go to him. He's literally everything. If you just
pass,
yes,
pass.
Yes, he's not.
Jake, come
Jordan
on,
isn't
man.
Kobe. Michael Jordan isn't Kobe. What? What do you got to say?
Pass. Magic, LeBron, Stockton, please.
I didn't say he's the best passer of all time. I said he does everything. He can literally do everything. The best. He's the best all time.
Why'd you throw passing? You could have went, scoring, clutch gene. You could have,
Yeah, keep it going.
Killer instinct, all that. You could have used that.
A winner. He's a winner.
Oh, jeez.
That's all the man does is win. Yes, LeBron is going to.
When LeBron gets 6, we'll have to start this up again.
Exactly. But no. Yes, LeBron's been to 10 championships. That don't mean nothing. He was in the East for all of them. He was in the East for all of them.
The East.
He was in the East. Oh my God.
Ooh, the East.
Dude, I bet Kentucky's basketball team could go out there and win in the East. It's awful. Yes, it's awful. The West.
Big Nation, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Kentucky. Shout out to Tyler Hero. Oh no, dude. LeBron's 10 championships. Yeah, all right, he did it. He's been to 10 of them. Great. You beat a bunch of grade schoolers to get there.
Not grade schoolers. Okay, 2011.
Yes, you beat the Bulls to get there, and the Bulls were babies at the time. They were baby Bulls, man.
Yeah. MVP D Rose.
And who else?
Shut up. What?
And who else on the team? Joakim Noah was not like a perennial.
Joakim back in the 2011 days, Jake, that man was a beast.
He was. Oh my God. He was the next thing. But I'm just saying, LeBron's literally ice skating through all these East teams, and then when he goes to the West, I'll give it to him. He went to the West. There you go. And then he won. I'll give him that.
Yeah, and you know what's gonna happen next year? When Golden State comes back, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're coming, King." Yeah, nah. We're just gonna
no, then the Clippers are gonna come back. State, just wait for it. LeBron, yes, this was probably your best chance at winning one.
The Kawhi laugh. Shout out to Kawhi, man. Jay, come on. Dude, Jay, the Clippers aren't winning anything with George Paul, playoff P, whatever you want to call him. They ain't winning nothing with him.
Hey, all I'm saying is everyone's going to come back healthy now this year. And when it's a real NBA season, LeBron's not going to be able to walk through it this time. That's all I'm saying.
Jake, you do realize LeBron's leads almost a lot of playoff statistical categories.
And how many? Yeah, because he's been there for so long, and he's been skating through the East. How many times got to say it?
Skating through the East. Look at this.
Name a threat to the Name a threat, like one team, like that they actually had a challenge against.
All right. The 2011 Bulls, the 2012 Celtics, the 2013 Pacers, the 2007 Pistons.
Stop. Did you really just say the 2012 Celtics?
Yeah, they were up 3-2, and then LeBron ended their careers by scoring 45, 50,
Old men,
5 in the TD Vanguard.
Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rondo was young. I'll give him that. Garnett, the
He's
old men.
Rondo, man.
Dude, they were old ass men.
It don't matter. They were up 3-2, and then they
exactly. They were up 3-2, and you're playing against 35-year-olds. That's terrible, LeBron. That's awful.
Yeah, and then they dropped 45, 15, and 5.
There you go.
Silence the critics.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
so.
Yeah.
So Jake, let me ask you this, okay? Is the Mavs series why you will never consider LeBron the GOAT? Is that why? Because that's where a lot of people point to. A lot of people point to the Mavs series.
Dude, that was a choke. That was awful. That's the biggest blemish on his like whole entire resume. That's awful. Like literally no one even thought the Mavs even had a chance. I'm sorry, no one did. You got Dirk Nowitzki, and then you had Tyson Chandler, but like
Jason
Kidd, you know what I mean? Like
Jason Kidd.
Old ass Jason Kidd. And then you got Terry, the 3-ball Terry, sweatband Terry. But no, that's dude, that's the biggest blemish ever. Yes, does LeBron have I'll give LeBron. Yes, he has the greatest comeback of all time in any sports history. I'll give him that. But you also have the biggest letdown ever in sports history.
Man.
Form the big three, you hype it up, and then the biggest collapse ever occurs.
It was bad. It was bad. Without question, it was bad.
Terrible.
It's bad. It is bad. But my thing is if you look at LeBron from 2011 till now, he's arguably having the greatest stretch of basketball anyone's ever seen.
The longevity, no, that's nuts. I'll give him that. Like, I'll give him that. I'll give it to him. What is he, 35? 35 now?
35, I believe, yeah.
35, and still playing.
Yeah, he turns 36 on December 30th.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that is something that's incredible.
Yeah.
Is that at 35 he's still playing like he was 18. Like, it's different style, I understand that, but he's still performing at a high level like that. Like, I think he's the best player in the NBA right now, followed by Giannis, and then whoever you want to put 3, 4, 5, whatever down. Like, those two are cemented. So, I think Kawhi. Wait, I think Kawhi. I think it goes LeBron, Giannis, then Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
I think you misspelled Steph Curry or AD or KD.
Oh, shoot, I did forget about KD though. Oh,
yeah, I think you forgot about Kevin Durant. 7 foot money.
And you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. So, like, if everyone's healthy,
there we go. I figured you forgot about KD because KD, Steph, AD. For me, man, why he ain't top 3 for me. You want to know why? Because
wait, for who? KD's not top 3 in the NBA right now?
No, KD's 3 for me.
Oh, okay.
Kawhi's not in my top 5, and here's why. Because they were up 3-1 against the Nuggets, and then Kawhi, he played well in the fourth quarter, game 5, not good enough to help his team win. And then in game 6 and 7, he looked like LeBron from 2011.
True. Wait, so then with that logic, we're just going about today. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
But I think you're right on that one. So I'd move Kawhi to my 4, and I'd put KD to my 3.
Okay.
I'd push him down.
Okay.
Actually, screw that. I'd put KD to my 2 and Giannis to my 3 because KD can shoot the ball. Giannis can't shoot the ball. and LeBron can do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Like he was showing he can shoot in the finals. LeBron was showing he can shoot in the finals. I like it, but KD's just different. KD's a different like I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it'll be interesting though to see how he comes back off this Achilles injury though, Jake. Because I
Yeah,
mean, we haven't really seen him much in sports where he come back the same from that. I
yeah.
mean, we haven't really seen him much, and
No.
and I think KD is going to be a little less of himself. I think he's still going to be great though. I could see him like a 25 or 26 per game guy. I don't think he'll average 30 again. I just think that's asking a little bit too much, especially when you have, Kyrie on that team and, they got DeAndre Jordan and all those role players, Karis LeVert, Dinwiddie, all those guys, they played their hearts out in the bubble too. Got to give them props.
Mhm. No, but I think you're right. I think maybe say he doesn't have like the mobility anymore. That shouldn't affect his shooting though. So maybe it's just more of a maybe like a Clay Thompson more spot up. But I don't think he'll be that extreme. I think he's still gonna be able to move 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 good. I think he's
Yeah,
gonna still be able to move good. And then like you said, you got Kyrie, but from history shows like Kyrie may not be the best duo person. So we'll see how that one goes. Hopefully Hopefully, pull it out. We'll
yeah.
see it. I'm rooting for the Nets. I hope it's a good season for them.
I hope so too. I got nothing against Kevin Durant. I got a little bit of
I
something
do.
I got a little bit of something against Kyrie Irving about what he's been talking about LeBron James and that Cavs team. You know, I didn't like KD's move to Golden State. I didn't like him on Golden State, but now I got extreme respect for him. I want to see him come back because I know basketball is better when Kevin Durant, LeBron are dominating the league. I know
Yeah,
that's when basketball is really at its peak. Now I got a couple other news and notes here. Le'Veon Bell signs with the Chiefs. That's huge news. Uh, Doc Emmerich, NHL broadcaster legend,
yeah, he retired.
retired today. That shocked me, and really, I was watching some hockey highlights today. I was just sitting there like, man, Doc Emmerich was awesome. Like I'm gonna miss it. Listening to him call these games. Um, you know, Kansas City ended up beating Buffalo today. That was a pretty good game. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that, Jake, but that was a pretty good
Oh,
game.
yeah. What was the score?
I believe it was 26-17, Kansas
Oh,
City. So yeah, it was a pretty good game. Um, Now, Jake, I do have a question for you, my guy. So this is obviously your first episode on the podcast, but I'm thinking we maybe make you a weekly guest
oh,
on the
weekly.
show.
God.
I'm thinking. You send me a date and time every week that works for you, and we make that happen. What do you say, man?
Heck yeah, I'm about it. This is fun. Yeah, this is cool. I like it. I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I'm trying this out, seeing how it works. I'm still trying to figure things out as I go. I did record episode one on Thursday night. I'm trying to kind of fill out a schedule for some weekly guests, and we'd love to have you back on.
Totally. No, I'd be honored to come back. This is a lot of fun. It's really cool what you're doing. Hopefully, you get some different guests, some cool guests. Maybe get a couple of them in at once. Get a whole big conversation going. I know you could get under some people's skin, see what they got to say. But no, it was really cool doing this.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Jake. I think I think really what separates these podcasts with especially closer friends is that it's really good conversation. No one really gets too mad at each other. I haven't done one with Goldstein yet. Goldstein and LOL, because we're gonna be firing back and forth.
Dude, I don't think you guys gonna be able to hear the audio. You guys just get into it too much. Gavin bought out his Warriors. Gavin knows his stuff though, so you better get ready for that one. Gavin knows his stats. He knows his facts. He knows it all.
Yeah, he does. But seriously, Jake, I appreciate you coming on, and I would really love to make you a weekly guest. I want you to be a staple part of this of the Chef Dunk Sports podcast.
Okay, I like
And
the
And also, man, we might have to get something, something popping with a lot of different people, But I want a day during the week where it's just me and you, talking sports, talking about what goes on. I think what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and have some people come on the show for NFL, NBA, and some people come on for a mix. I think you're gonna be one of those guys that's both NFL and NBA because I think you bring a good a good perspective where you play the game of basketball and you're a big football fan.
Of course, bear down. Tampa Bay. We don't have anything for Tampa Bay, so we'll just say Bay down. I'm all about that.
Tampa Bay, man, you forget
Tom,
about that.
we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that in another episode. How about that?
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that next time. I'm gonna write that down right now. That's coming up. That's gonna be the first topic next week. But Jay, thank you so much for coming on the show. Everyone, thanks for listening. Be sure to check out more of the podcast episodes and make sure to follow, like, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate Jay coming on today, and thank you all for listening. Have a great night.